Ever wondered if your morning cup of joe was brewed from the droppings of a fancy African creature? Well, let's spill the beans, or should I say the civet's beans. Welcome to the world of the African civet, a creature as intriguing as it sounds. Now, there's a swirling myth that your prized civet coffee, yes, the one that costs an arm and a leg, comes exclusively from the droppings of this African feline. But hold on to your coffee cups, folks, because here comes the twist. While there is such a thing as civet coffee, not all of it comes from our African friend. In fact, it's usually the Asian palm civet that gets the dubious honor of being the coffee bean provider. Our African civet, it seems, is off the hook. This might be hard to swallow, especially if you're sipping on that expensive brew right now. So, next time you sip your expensive civet coffee, remember, you might be thanking the wrong civet. Did you ever smell a stink and blame it on a skunk only to realize it's actually a civet? No? Well, me neither, but let's dive into this stinky situation. Now, there's a common myth that African civets are as stinky as skunks. But hold your noses, folks, because we're here to clear the air. You see, African civets do produce a musk, but unlike our striped friends, they don't use it as a weapon of mass olfaction. They're not out here spraying unsuspecting victims, they're busy being the muses of the perfume industry. That's right, their musk, known as civetone, has been a hit in the fragrance world for centuries. So, next time you spray on that high-end perfume, remember, you might just be wearing eau de civet. It's a stinky business, but someone's got to do it, right? So remember, if you're ever in Africa and smell something foul, don't blame the civet. They're probably just making Chanel No. 5. Ever thought you saw a raccoon partying in Africa? Well, you might just have spotted a late-night reveler, the African civet. Now I know what you're thinking. A raccoon in Africa? That's preposterous. And you'd be right. Despite their striking resemblance with their mask-like facial markings, African civets are not related to raccoons. Here's where it gets interesting. African civets are, in fact, more akin to mongoose. Yes, you heard it right, mongoose. A cousin of the slinky, snake-slaying mongoose and not the trash-can raiding raccoon. These nocturnal creatures love a good party, but their idea of a party is slightly different than ours. While we might enjoy a good dance-off, these critters are all about the thrill of the hunt, chasing down insects, rodents, and reptiles under the cover of darkness. So, when you spot a masked party animal in Africa, remember, it's not a raccoon, it's our night owl, the African civet. So, we've spilled the beans, sniffed out the truth, and unmasked the African civet. Let's do a quick recap, shall we? First off, the civet coffee saga. It turns out our African civet isn't always the barista behind your expensive cup of joe. In fact, its Asian cousin is more likely to be brewing your morning pick-me-up. Talk about a plot twist. Next, we've busted the stink myth wide open. Sure, African civets have a distinctive scent, but they're not in the same league as skunks. They're more like the perfume connoisseurs of the animal kingdom, who knew? And finally, despite their raccoon-like appearance, African civets are night owls, not party animals. They prefer moonlit strolls to rambunctious shenanigans. And that's the African civet for you. A coffee-inspiring, perfume-making, night-loving creature that's anything but ordinary. Next time you hear a myth about them, you know better than to believe it.